In this video, I'm going to explain how to find the least common multiple of several numbers using prime factors. What is least common multiple or LCM? LCM of several numbers is the smallest number which is divisible by all these numbers. For example, let's take three numbers. Let's take 4, 12, and 18. Now, what is the LCM of these three numbers? It should be the smallest number which is divisible by 4, 12, and 18. So how can we find this smallest number? We are going to use prime factors for that. So let's find out the LCM of 4, 12, and 18 using prime factors. First, we need to write each number as a product of its prime factors. Our first number is 4. How do we write 4 as a product of its prime factors? Here we need to find all the prime factors that 4 is divisible by. For this, we need to divide 4 by prime numbers. We always start with 2, which is the smallest prime number. Is 4 divisible by 2? Yes. So let's divide. 4 divided by 2, we get 2. Then 2 again we divide by 2 and we have 1. Remember, we need to continue dividing until we get 1. Now let's write 4 as a product of its prime factors. 2 times 2. We need to consider the numbers in this column and write them as a product. So 2 times 2 is 4. Now let's write 12 as a product of its prime factors. 12 is divisible by 2, we get 6. Again 6 is divisible by 2 and we get 3. 3 is not divisible by 2, then we have to check with 3 because 3 is the next smallest prime number. When we divide 3 by 3, we get 1. So 12 as a product of its prime factors is 2 times 2 times 3. Now let's take 18. 18 divided by 2, we get 9. 9 is not divisible by 2, then we have to divide by 3 and we get 3. 3 divided by 3 and we get 1. So 2 times 3 times 3. Now we have written all three numbers as a product of its prime factors. Next, what we do is we write this product as a product of powers. Here we have two 2's. Let's write this as a power. Now, how can we write this as a power? It's 2 to the power 2, right? Now, what about this product? Here we again have two 2's. So it should be 2 to the power 2. And here we have only one 3. Therefore, as a power, it should be 3 to the power 1. And we need to place the multiplication here. We just wrote this product as a product of powers. Here, 3 to the power 1 means it's just 3. So instead of writing 3 to the power 1, you can just write 3. Since any number raised to the power of 1 equals the number itself. So you can just write 3 instead of 3 to the power 1. Anyhow, I will keep this one so you can understand better. Now, what about this product? When we write this as a product of powers, we got only 1, 2. So just 2 or 2 to the power 1 times we have 2 3s. So 3 to the power 2. Now we need to find out the greatest power of each prime factors. What are the prime factors here? We have 2 prime factors. We got 2 and also 3. So what is the greatest power of 2? Here we have 2 to the power 2. Then here also 2 to the power 2. Here we have only 2 to the power 1. So the greatest power of 2 is 2 to the power 2. So let's write it. Now what is the greatest power of 3? Here we have 3 to the power 1 and here we got 3 to the power 2. So which one is the greatest power? It should be 3 to the power 2. Now we can find out our LCM. Now we obtain the product of these two greatest powers to find out our LCM. So LCM of 4, 12 and 18 is 2 to the power 2 times 3 to the power 2. 2 to the power 2 is 4. 3 to the power 2 is 9. So 4 times 9 is 36. So our answer is 36. The LCM of 4, 12 and 18 is 36. So 36 is the smallest number which is divisible by 4, 12 and 18. Now let's try another example. Let's find out the LCM of 6, 8 and 12. Now you need to follow the same method. What is our first step? We need to write each number as a product of its prime factors. So how do we write 6 as a product of its prime factors? Hope you can remember it. It's 2 times 3. 8. Let's find out. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Again, we can divide by 2 and we get 1. So 8 as a product of its prime factors is 2 times 2 times 2. And what about 12? It's 2 times 2 times 3. Now we should write each of these products as a product of powers. 2 times 3, we got only 1 2 and only 1 3. So 2 to the power 1 times 3 to the power 1. Then here we got 3 2's. So 2 to the power 3. Here it should be 2 to the power 2 times 3 to the power 1. Now we need to find out the greatest power of each prime factor. We got 2 prime factors here, 2 and 3. So what is the greatest power of 2? It is 2 to the power 3. So we have to have 2 to the power 3. What is the greatest power of 3? Here 3 to the power 1 and 3 to the power 1. So the greatest power of 3 is 3 to the power 1. And we have to have the product of these two greatest powers. 2 to the power 3 times 3 to the power 1. And what is our answer now? 2 to the power 3 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. So our LCM of 6, 8 and 12 is 24. 24 is the smallest number which is divisible by 6, 8, also 12. Now let's find out the LCM of 6, 9 and 12. So 6 as a product of its prime factors is 2 times 3. 9 as a product of its prime factors, let's find out. 9 is not divisible by 2, so you should divide by 3. Of course, 9 is divisible by 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. Then again we can divide 3 by 3, so we get 1. Therefore, 9 as a product of its prime factors is 3 times 3. 12 is 2 times 3. Now let's write as a product of powers. Here 2 to the power 1 times 3 to the power 1. Then 9, 3 to the power 2. Here 2 to the power 2 times 3 to the power 1. Now what is the LCM of 6, 9 and 12? Let's get the product of the greatest powers of each prime factor. We have 2 and 3 as prime factors, and the greatest power of 2 is 2 to the power 2. Greatest power of 3 is 3 to the power 2. So 2 to the power 2 times 3 to the power 2. 2 to the power 2 is 4 times 3 to the power 2 is 9. 4 times 9 is 36. So 36 is the LCM of 6, 9 and 12. Now it's your turn. Pause this video and try to solve this. Find the LCM of 6, 10 and 15. So what is your answer? Let's find out. 6 as a product of its prime factors is 2 times 3. 10, what about 10? Let's find out. 10 is divisible by 2. We get 5. 5 is not divisible by 2, even not by 3. Then we'll try with 5. Yes, 5 is divisible by 5. And we get 1. So 10 as a product of its prime factors is 2 times 5. What about 15? 15 is not divisible by 2, but it is divisible by 3. 3 times 5 is 15. Then 5 is divisible by 5 and we get 1. So 3 times 5. Now let's write as a product of powers. Here is 2 to the power 1 times 3 to the power 1. Then here it is 2 to the power 1 times 5 to the power 1. And here it's 3 to the power 1 times 5 to the power 1. Now what are the greatest powers of each prime factor? Greatest power of 2 is 2 to the power 1. Even greatest power of 3 is 3 to the power 1. Also, the greatest power of 5 is 5 to the power 1. So for us to find out the LCM, we need to find the product of these greatest powers. 2 to the power 1 times 3 to the power 1 times 5 to the power 1. So it is 2 times 3 times 5. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Our LCM is 30. Now you know simply how to find LCM of several numbers using prime factors. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe. Also click the bell icon, then you will not miss any of my videos. See you then.